remember that Vine with the little like, oh, hello, motherfucker. Anyway, hello, everybody. And by motherfuckers, I mean the internet. And welcome to season 375, episode 3 of the Daily Zeitgeist, a production of iHeartRadio. This is the podcast where we take a deep dive into America's shared sordid consciousness. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. We are Valentine's Day -2, okay? And it's also National Plum Pudding Day. I've never had plum pudding, but that sounds plum delicious, don't it?
Plum pudding is actually more akin to banana bread than an actual literal pudding.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's similar to like a persimmon pudding, a plum pudding, like a
fucking persimmon pudding?
Yeah, that shit's actually phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
That sounds so good.
I had persimmon pudding for the first time when I was a little kid. My dad made it, and I thought I was going to get like a big thing of pudding, and I didn't know what a persimmon was, and then he gave me that piece of bread, and I was like, the shit is this? And then it was super moist, and I was like, whoa, bro, this is good.
Well, I mean, yes, I am ignorant of the ways of plum pudding and other things that just basically aren't snack pack, unfortunately. I'm not that cultured when it comes to puddings. However, that doesn't change the fact that I am Miles Gray, a.k.a. Kylie Minogue, a.k.a. Silver Linings Gray Book. Shout out to Grossface Killer on the Discord for that one. Yes, I did get overcome with emotion watching the Kylie Minogue video with my baby the other day. And also, shout out to my overrated, which was giving people silver linings all the time. All that to say is, I am thrilled to be joined by my guest co-host, one of my just a solid dude. You know, a solid dude. He has solid cooking skills. He has a solid right hook. Ooh. He has a solid creatine ingestion regimen that he
getting more solid every day.
Bro, you keep drinking that creatine. I said, for what? You're like, I don't know, but I'm doing it. Please welcome to the microphone the one and only, you know him from Yo's This Racist and many other things, but please welcome Andrew T.
Yo, I finally got on Discord. 8 months ago, Johnny Davis suggested Andrew T, a.k.a. ducked around and got gout. I think that was on from the last time I thought maybe I'd gotten gout. But I'm not here to give notes. I love the Zeitgang and I like Discord fine. Mm-hmm. So many of these pitches involve significantly higher acting ability than I am able. Like, they work on the page, but there's a lot of like hitting the T's in various phrases that I just gotta tell you I don't got it in me. So
it's okay.
I'm gonna
you're being open and honest about your own limitations as a performer, which not many people do, and I think. And also,
I do think I have an answer to why the creatine. I forgot. I don't know if I mentioned this on mic, but the reason I'm doing creatine is because it was free. Because my friend got delivered an extra thing.
Shout out
and
Zig.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, because I do not work out enough.
Just because it's free. This is like how my mom buys shit, where she'll be like, I bought this thing because it was on sale. And I'm like, do you need it? She's like, no, but it used to be $300. I got it for $20. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think you need a scarf with fairies having sex on it, but that do you?
Listen,
why not?
Yeah.
Listen,
Free
don't
money.
tell your mom. I am your mom. That sounds like a great purchase.
Yeah. No, I know.
I am the same way.
Shout out sale culture. I know sale culture is huge. People love a motherfucking sale. Some people only love a thing because of the motherfucking sale. And look, I get it. Well, look, whose voice was that? Well, that was all the way from the hollers of Tennessee. One of the I think most reputable Dolly Parton fans doing it right now.
Damn right.
Someone who puts me on to all kinds of different ways to get elevated, whether that's putting up a little crystal, having the lights fill your room with the colorful light spectrum, maybe even hitting the old Stunden glass. Well, I also find them to be one of the funniest people around, a wonderful 90 Day Fiancé fan, and again, stay off her private property because you will get clapped. Please welcome to the microphone, Lydia Popovich!
I love that we know each other so well, Miles. Like, honestly, like, you always give me the best intros. Like, it's literally the essence of who I am. This bitch loves Dolly Parton.
Yep.
She knows a lot. She will shoot you if you come on her land. She loves to get high and very creative in different ways. And also, she's kind of a witch. Like,
yeah. love it. I love it, Lydia. It's
startlingly accurate.
Amazing to have you back.
Hey, happy to be back.
Especially now when we are under this new regime. So many things happening. Baby. What's the vibe check in Tennessee? What are the vibes like? You know
what? It's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not what I would assume is unlike California a little bit in terms
Sure.
of the liberals being up in arms. Definitely there's less of them than, say, the other people. But
Yeah.
what's different, I think, this time around is that it's sort of split between people who are like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, Trump, America, let's go, Brandon. I want to shoot everyone and their dog. And then there's people who are like, don't talk to me about it. I don't care. I got stuff to do. And then there's the liberals, most of which have moved from California, who are like, what's happening? Why are people upset? What's going on? Did you know that people are still racist? But also, where can I get a biscuit?
Right,
like, that's kind of
where'd I get these biscuits I keep hearing about? Or like a Goo Goo cluster? Yeah. Those sound so, I mean, they sound a little too much sugar for me, but...
What's a Goo Goo cluster? I'm going to look this up.
Or it's people who like bought a $2 million home in East Nashville right next to like a condemned trap house. And they're like, I'm just appalled that we booked Trump. And
it smells like marijuana.
Girl, you're part of the problem. Like,
yeah, right.
You know, and this is coming from someone who moved from California. Obviously, I moved from California, but like I moved to the woods and I mind my business.
right.
I'm not
Yeah, you
East
mind your
Nashville
own.
with a fucking wiener dog and fucking Juicy Couture walking around asking where the Love Shack Fancy is. You know what I mean? Like, that's not me. I'm not doing that. You know,
I had to
I'm
look
in
up
the
Google
woods.
clusters. These shits look so good.
They're delicious.
They're pretty phenomenal.
That's a
one
Tennessee
of
thing,
our
right?
oldest-
It's a Nashville
oh,
thing,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an old school.
I know my
tasty
like.
treat.
It's so funny. Like I always know like a specific food to a lot of cities to try and create some common ground. Like let's go to Loveless and get some Google clusters. You know what I mean?
I would say, hell yeah, dog, you love a regional treat.
Love a regional treat.
You're a
Thank
little
you
foodie.
so
like,
much.
You'd like to downplay it a little bit, but
I
you're
love a
definitely
regional
somebody
treat. Yeah.
Who knows what's up when it comes to
well,
putting
anytime
stuff
I
in
go
their mouth.
anywhere, like I'm like, what is the shit that I can only get here? That's
Yep.
all the
Right.
first thing I
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
whenever I'm like, because I don't need to eat shit I've already. I want to know what y'all are fucking with. Anyway, Lydia, thanks for joining us. Let's give
Thanks for having me.
let's give the people, not even the people, a peek behind the curtain and let them know what we will be talking about today in this very special video episode. You can go to youtube.com/@the-daily-zeitgeist to watch this and many other video episodes. But yes, today we are going to be talking about, God, man, the Democrats really let the dumbest motherfuckers just waltz on in because they are finding out shit in real time that is just so sad. But I don't know. This is another case of the fascist dog caught the car, and now they're like, well, how does any of this work? And we're left to sort it all out. Then, despite all this winning on the right, Kid Rock's life is still shit. And no one likes him, so at least there's that. We will tune in with him and his drunken ass, because he pulled his very own Jeb Bush moment at a club in Nashville. And we'll also talk about, obviously, we got RFK. His confirmation is imminent now that famously worried human being Senator Susan Collins. I'm a little worried about, then are you voting to confirm him? It sounds like a yes. So we're going to touch on, obviously, all the issues that are coming with HHS, but specifically fucking raw milk, because that's a huge thing with him. And now it's like this symbol of the right because... Fuck pasteurization. Am I right, y'all? That shit is government overreach. And we might even talk about how Google is bending the knee in so many ways. I think they have multiple knees. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are bending them all. They are getting
They're like
down.
a millipede out here.
Exactly. I'm like, how many knees you got? God damn. They are bowing in prostrate before Donald Trump. So we will touch on that, plenty more, maybe some other things. But first, Lydia Popovich, what is something from your search history that is revealing about who you are?
So the last heavy Googling I did was a few days ago, and the very top of that search history, because I had to look and be like, what were you Googling? What you been Googling? Was an article that said infertility in the bitch. And I remember it took me a second, and I was just like, "Ooh, tough jab." And then I remembered because I'm researching. I wanna breed my dog.
Okay.
I have a beautiful 105-pound Kenny Corso, and she's a beautiful girl, and she has the sweetest temperament, and we want to have puppies.
Okay.
So we are going to be purchasing a second dog, and so I'm doing, as you would as a responsible female, some research on what things should I look out for? What creates infertility in dogs? And just seeing the headline "Infertility in the Bitch" made me laugh a lot.
I
and
know.
made me realize maybe I'm not ready for grand dog motherhood because I can't even read an article without laughing.
Right.
I could barely focus because every time it said the word bitch, I was like, bitch.
You're like, and these bitches are infertile. You're like,
Whoa,
Exactly.
whoa, whoa.
yo, easy,
Hey.
bro. I know Trump's president, but like, can we
Yeah,
pump the
and
brakes
that's
on
exactly where my mindset was. I was like, listen, I know I'm 47. Yeah, she's infertile. She's not having any babies. Okay, but do we need to like start giving these be the results? Like, hey, bitch, nah. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, not me. The dog.
it?
I'm not trying to
Oh,
get
that
pregnant.
bitch.
The
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. They're all right. They're all right.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Is I'm googling about my dog's reproductive system.
You must
she's
love
cool.
this dog because you're like, I want this
Oh,
dog to go forth and multiply.
I love this dog so much it's not even funny.
Would you-
And so much that I want her to go and multiply. I'm willing to purchase a whole other male dog,
Right.
raise that dog to maturity so that they can have sex, so that I can control the bloodline, and then she'll have puppies, and then I'll keep one of those dogs. Which
Yes.
means if you're counting, I will have 3 Cane Corsos.
Yes.
3 dogs.
Which, if you were literally listening, that's close to 350 pounds worth of dogs
Yeah.
running around my house at all times.
Well, you know,
That's
I-
also not counting my tiny dog, who is 16 pounds.
Damn.
So I have a problem.
No. I think you have
Well,
our full
you have a
support.
solution.
Yeah, you go. Look, you're on your Kris Jenner journey right now. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm trying to have my Kardashians. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I get it.
trying. None of these dogs. Well, one of these dogs has an Instagram account. The rest of them do not.
Right.
You know.
Uh,
they
Lydia,
haven't
what's-
existed yet.
What's something you think is underrated?
You know, I've been thinking about this because I tend to give the same answers, and literally everything is underrated. No, I think this is a controversial, but I think what's underrated is sugar. I have been on a personal no sugar journey, and I miss it. Everyone's talk shit about it, and I know it's bad for you. It does thing, or so says my diabetes doctor. However, sugar is delicious. What it does to a morning
However.
coffee, oh baby.
Oh, you put sugar in your coffee.
Sugared things. There's sugar in that creamer that you put in your coffee, which makes your coffee delicious. Unless
okay.
you're drinking just hot and black, which people do. But I like
Hey,
a little,
you know
I like
me.
a little,
You know me.
a little latte treat. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
like
right.
a little mixed kind of breakfast cocktail, if you will.
Sure.
Sugar certainly helps
Yeah.
with that party.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
miss it dearly. Sugar is
Yeah.
underrated. I
Are
just
you-
miss it. This
Andrew, are
is
you a
call for help.
sugar in your coffee guy?
I don't put sugar in my coffee, but I put sugar in. I think the thing that a lot of people don't think about is like most like braises and stews and
Yes,
and some of your
everything
like
has
pasta
sugar in
sauces that is good. The reason it tastes so much better at a restaurant is there's sugar or sometimes fucking corn syrup. Not most Asian shit,
True
but a lot of
that.
like the best like Korean shit, fucking
Yep.
corn syrup, dogs.
Yeah, man. You start
Shout out
reading
my
those
Caro.
labels,
Yeah.
and you're like, literally everything has sugar in it. Ketchup, sugar in it. Like,
Yeah, for
That
sure.
is one thing I've looked into. Like, it definitely has changed my philosophy on like processed foods in America. Where I'm like, you know what? Europe's right. We're trash.
Yeah.
We're fucking
It's
trash.
crazy.
Like, I read everything, and even when I'm thinking healthy, I'm just like, oh my god! Unless it's naturally occurring sugar, everything is in it. The amount of effort I have to put into to find foods literally with no sugar.
Yeah.
It's so
Impossible.
difficult. It's
like-
so
Like I was looking at a bag of celery, and it said it had 2 grams of added sugar. Wow.
I'm saying. You know, if you're
Somehow.
a crunchy, crispy lady like I am, I love a chip. Love
Yeah.
a chip. Love a cracker. Love love a anything. Even I was like buying these like
Little bit of
toasted
sugar.
like garbanzo beans. And I was
Oh,
like, why
yeah.
are they so good? And it was a Korean barbecue flavor. And I'm like, oh, because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
fucking sugar all over these
Sugar.
things. No wonder they're delicious.
Yeah.
Just popping them by the handful, thinking I'm doing right. And then I took a look on the back and it's like, yowza.
Yeah.
All right.
As Homer Simpson said, the cause of and solution
Yeah.
to all life's problems. Apparently.
So I guess really it's not sugar. I guess what's underrated is an actual functioning like insulin output. So like, hey, if your shit is working, yo,
Keep that
bless
shit
it,
working.
Bless up.
Keep that
Bless
shit
up on
working.
that. You know
yeah,
what I
hear
mean?
that.
Like,
I hear that.
that's
I hear
really
that.
what it is.
Yeah.
ones.
Have you fucked around with dates and stuff? That's what I've been doing.
Oh, babe. Big fan
Yeah.
of dates. That's
Yeah.
my new favorite snack is I get to have an old lady snack where I take 3 dates and I cut them open and I take the seeds out and then I fill them with peanut butter.
Oh.
And I
That
eat
sounds-
those.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh.
quite delicious.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
sitting next to like a Snickers bar, you're like, okay, babe, don't
Yeah.
tell me it's a
Yeah.
Snickers.
I don't.
Tell
You
me
don't.
it's a date with peanut butter.
Don't go too buck wild. But if you want to try putting maybe a little bit of blue cheese or a gorgonzola inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
familiar with that. The savory route, super. I know exactly where you're going with that.
Yeah.
So good. I'm gonna eat
Oh,
a salad with that combination right after this.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Some dates and a
Go
salad. dates
harder,
and a
dude.
dressing.
Hit that Roquefort. You know what I mean? If you really want that life, that stink life. People say blue
That's
cheese.
stink
Hit
life.
the Roquefort. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Or that deep blue vein Stilton. Let's get it, dog.
Woo. Speaking of deep blue veins, what is something you think is overrated, Lydia?
Working at all.
Mm.
And especially working for the man. Like
Which man?
If you have a like the capital M, right? Like not like the big guy upstairs, Jesus.
Oh, right.
Although
Thank
I
you,
think
thank you.
that's
All
probably
praise.
overrated too. But like his subsidiaries, the man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
The corporate man who is there telling you, anywhere there's an HR department. That's active, anywhere where you've got like stock options and there's like things like that, just generally working for the man.
Yeah.
So many of us want to be like, oh, I wish I had a stable job. No, you don't. Just like honestly, you don't want it. I know it sounds like it'd be better and easier, but like if you're the man,
As Sean Connery once said, "You're the man now, dog."
Yeah.
Correct.
And I think
true.
we're striving to reach that summit.
yeah.
As someone
it's
who
a lot more work, but
full disclosure, I do technically work for the man, but
you do work.
I'm
for
trying
the
to
man.
make it work. Luckily, I get paid to talk shit at the water cooler. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
Right, like I would say, you have one of the better for the man jobs. Like I'm sure the man comes down, you know what I mean, and inserts technology you don't like, or says, "Hey, talk about this," and you're like, "All right, sure, buddy."
Luckily,
But, like,
no,
you get to use,
man. Luckily, we don't.
You're
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
You get to
no.
use the F word. You get to.
Oh,
do
I can
whatever
say
you
it all.
want.
Yeah, federalism. Yeah,
Yeah.
I say that shit all the time.
You know?
And there's no repercussions, baby.
a
But yeah,
single
man,
one.
the toil is some
Fuck
shit.
working
Okay,
for the man. I think
Yeah.
quit your job, dude. Just quit your job. Get out of it. You know?
Okay.
Sell toes.
sell
And I don't mean
toes.
cut them off. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean
Yeah.
cut your toes off, but like take pictures of your feet. There's so many people out there working for
Oh
the man that
yeah,
just want
I
to
don't
look
know,
at your
man. My
toes.
shits are. I don't know. I played soccer and
That's
hockey.
what makes it unique. That's what makes it gives it
Exactly.
character. That,
I don't know. I remember one time I got a pedicure and the nail tech had an audible reaction to like
Yeah.
how thick this pad of dead skin
No,
was on my foot.
see,
They were like,
you should have got
"Oh,
that on video. You should be like, can you put a towel down and keep all those scrapings? Because that's going on OnlyFans. I'm telling you, I'm this close. I'm this close to selling panties. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, who wants
Oh.
fat bitch panties? I got them all day. All
I-
day.
I had a homegirl who was doing that for a minute in college, and she
They
fully,
break up.
yeah, she had to like wean herself off that. She's like, I have no work ethic right now because it's the money's just coming in. She's like, half the time, I was like, I'm not even wearing
trying
them
to-
shits. I'm just selling. I'm just
That's
selling
what I'm saying.
panties. I'm just sending them to fucking people.
I live in
would they know?
Tennessee. I'm trying to go to the Goodwill and just fucking buy a bag full of panties for $3 and just let my dogs chew on them and be like, yeah, they're mucusy. What's up? And
Yeah.
fucking sell them. Who you gonna tell me this isn't my? Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
All sizes. Who doesn't know I don't have a bop house full of bitches in panties? Nobody.
What a
Nobody.
what a scandal! What a scandal! The forensics on figuring out this isn't. This
Yeah.
is
And then
Also-
if you do figure it out, I'll give you your money back, dog. You
No,
win.
also,
You're
but that's
good.
also like one of those things that you don't want to admit that you figured it out either. They're like,
Yeah.
sir,
Right.
what? They're like,
It's the
well, I
perfect
mean,
crime.
I did have I used a polymerase chain reaction in a
That's
in a
right. That's right.
centrifuge,
Thank you.
know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, PCR tested
sir-
this shit. You know what I mean?
Sir, what led you to the PCR test? Well, normally when I chew them gently, I don't crunch as hard. Like, how do you like how
Chew
do you
them
get to that?
gently.
The
Damn.
tang. The
You know
tang
what I
isn't
mean? Because
right.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like,
She's like, yeah,
there
you
was
remember?
that-
Yeah, I chew them gently. Like, you know,
was-
when you get the paper off the cupcake, and you're like, there's cake on there. But I can't be
There's cake
chewing
on
that
there.
shit up like it's food. I gotta just get the flavor. I gotta activate the flavor.
Just a-
You feel me?
Just a little
Okay.
American
Nom, nom, nom,
cheese
nom,
on the
Little Roquefort. Okay, what happened to the podcast? This is what happens when I'm the host. Let's take a break.
Sorry, guys.
We'll get back.
We need a white man up in here.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Look, the revolution will not be on a podcast, but you picked the right time and the wrong man. We'll be right back. And we're back. So, like I said at the top of the show, the Democrats really let the dumbest assholes alive just waltz on in because their absolute refusal to A, come down to earth where the rest of us live and understand what's at stake for them people, and also just hearing generally what is anathema to someone whose vote you're trying to court, and then being like, let's just ignore that. If someone puts Gaza as a reason why they are maybe questioning their support, let's just put that as like let's just disappear that as a category so people don't. Did you read that thing about one of the people who work on the campaign, like how they took concern for Gaza and just like disappeared it as a category so it wasn't really showing up in like data as it went up? Anyway, all that to say, here we are. I want to point to a few events that are just, again, it's so infuriating. Obviously not because of how evil and like just immoral everything is, but just how stupid they are at the same time. It's truly like a force multiplier for outrage. Kristi Noem, the head of the Department of Homeland Security and famed young canine executioner. I should say puppy murderer. That's young canine executioner. Sounds like some shit they'd say on Fox News. Puppy offer. She had an exchange with Dana Bash on CNN where they were talking about how, look, Elon Musk now has an obscene level of access to people's data. And Dana Bash was like, yeah, I seem to remember a time when people weren't that into the idea of unelected perverts having access to your personal info. Let me just play this exchange because this is, again, what a moment from Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Here they are talking, just going back and forth about our privacy and who we can and can't trust.
I remember a time when Republicans were very careful about and worried about the government, particularly unelected people.
Well, we can't trust the government anymore.
Having access to personal data.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You are the government.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, is that the American people now are saying that we have had our personal information.
You know what I can't trust? Her hairstylist. Did she drag out a bump it from 1990?
Yo.
She's got more hair that's not hers in her head than I can count. She must have got that from the puppies that she offed. Like, make them into a wig.
Her
Give
hair
me
is
a halo
her
fall.
hair is hitting switches because it's up in the back. I don't know how it's about to hit the three-wheel motion going down Slauson.
Man.
I just want to.
Weeva DeVille? I don't know. I'm just trying to.
I don't have a lot of hair shade I can throw at the moment, but allow me to catch up. This is the wildest shit. How, again, reflexively, the Republicans do this thing where they go, well, obviously we can't trust the government. And you're like, just can you say that one more time? Because just let me hear that one more time from your mouth.
Elected people.
We can't trust the government anymore.
Having access to personal data.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You are the government.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is that
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, you fucking absolute zero of a person. That, again, she's like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying about the government. She goes on to now just fully panic pivot to, I don't know, I think something about Elon. Let me just hear the rest of her answer.
People now are saying that we have had our personal information shared and out there in the public.
But now Elon Musk has access to it.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is part of the administration that is helping us identify where we can find savings and what we can do. And
she says savings like we cutting coupons and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you? You're talking about axing whole agencies and like, well, he's here to help us find savings. And I don't know if you
savings where.
Just
Teslas are extremely expensive. Elon Musk has never used a coupon in his life.
But
savings?
We're finding
He's shooting
savings.
off rockets over Austin just because he farted in an afternoon. Do you know how much money that costs? Savings.
Well, and by that I mean, preventing people in developing nations from getting, things that might be like life-saving medication and things like that. I'm sorry, savings.
Saving
Like, I'm sorry,
lives.
life-saving medication.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
He's also, it's so funny because it's like basically the main time he's gotten to do this wholesale is with Twitter, which was a disaster that he has lost so much money on.
Right.
Like the basic, the tangible time he has done this very thing worked so badly.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just like everything he touches turns to shit. It's really amazing.
Well, I mean, that's like the thing. I guess we can take comfort in how predictable this is going to go, that it's just going to break everything.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, because again, this man is not a genius. He just stumbled upon money.
Very stupid. Yeah.
And because of his ability to be completely, just like sociopathic in his pursuit of influence and things like that, he emerges in these places that some people are like, oh, wow, he must be really smart. Meanwhile, it's like, I'm bringing a sink to this office and I'm going to break the thing. And now...
And he broke it. And it doesn't work.
Yeah. And now we have this
version. It's worse than ever before.
He doesn't know how to build anything. He knows how to break things.
Yeah.
Unless it just involves including a backdoor where Russian hackers can come and get all of your data. Like, he's very good at that. He's great at that.
You just leave the door open, I suppose.
Just leave it open. Just leave it open.
Not even a back door. It's like, dude, just go
it's
like
literally
this.
The front door.
Just cover your face when you walk in the front door like this, and they won't even
Yeah.
notice. Just do that.
Yeah.
Actually, he's just kicked all the walls out. He's like, now we just have studs
There's no
and
door.
fucking.
Yeah.
There's no
Why
door.
have
There's
a
no
door?
walls.
It's more of like a pagoda sort of thing that we have.
Yes.
Open
Just from-
plan.
Come on in from any angle, honestly. There's nothing keeping you out.
Need.
That is the favored architecture of these fucking Nazis. Is just a big acropolis, a big open 6 columns and no walls.
Right. Yeah. Just
That's what these dumb
come on
fucks
in.
love.
Come on in. So again, there you are. Your habit of constantly being like, we can't trust the government. You ended up saying that shit when you were the fucking head of Homeland Security. But again, I do believe it when you say it, Christy Noem. We cannot trust you at all. 100%.
I mean,
Truthful.
I do like how we're sort of speed running the incompetence of the first Trump, or not incompetence, but inability to govern for people. Like, I think it took until like COVID for people to be like, oh, these fucks really can't do this shit.
Sure. Yeah.
And now we're gonna get there in like, less than a year.
Oh, yeah. I think once whatever fucking weird bird flu thing that's going to probably end up popping up because we're turning our backs on science. And then again, they'll probably just blame Joe Biden.
They'll do that, but it is like, it's, I don't know, it's either going to be polio or a depression or
measles is already popping off right now. You're seeing clusters of measles outbreaks because it's the fucking 19th century. But anyway,
Polio's coming back.
Oh, it is. It is. But meanwhile, you have Senator Katie Britt from Alabama. I don't know if y'all remember her. She was the tired-ass wannabe like soap opera actor that gave that weird response to Joe Biden's last State of the Union where she was like in a kitchen. She's like, I'm really worried. It was just like the most labored monologue we'd ever seen. Well, she loved the first few weeks of the new regime, but then I guess she also found out how the government works. And when Trump and Musk made cuts to the National Institutes of Health, and how those cuts would hit Alabama, her home state, pretty hard, she began to be like, wait, hold on, what's going on? So on Friday night of last week, quote, the NIH announced it was cutting payments toward overhead costs for research institutions that receive its grants, a policy that could leave universities with major budget gaps, the Associated Press reported. Currently, some universities receive 50% or more of the total amount of a grant to put towards support staff and other needs. This would now be capped at 15%. So this is huge. Like the people in Alabama, especially the ones that work at the universities, are like, just so you know, like the University of Alabama is the largest employer in the state. Okay. Yeah. We need every single dollar we can get. Budget cuts like this are not wanted, especially within a system that is like, again, so dependent on federal funds. Katie Britt is now sort of like, I don't know if you can even call this oppose the cuts, but clearly felt the pressure from constituents like to be like, you should say something. This is like, you're going to completely fuck us over. She said, quote, every cent of hard-earned taxpayer money should be spent efficiently, judiciously, and accountably without exception. While the administration works to achieve this goal at NIH, a smart, targeted approach is needed in order to not hinder life-saving, groundbreaking research at high-achieving institutions like those in Alabama.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious to me because it's like every other dollar that they make that does not come from the government just goes to Alabama football.
Right.
Like, roll motherfucking tide. They're like, listen, we have football, but we need people to think we do other things. No shade to Alabama in any way, shape, or form.
And it's funny you bring up, the storied football program of Alabama because their other senator, Coach Tommy Tuberville, who acts like he has CTE without actually playing football somehow, is just telling people to relax because, quote, this is when they asked again, they're like, sir, this could affect, the universities in your home state. What do you think of Elon's fucking rampage? He goes on to say, quote, Elon Musk is a genius with a proven track record of making businesses more cost efficient. We should be thanking him for being willing to serve our country in this way. Okay.
I mean, the thing that is nice is that this is literally the facts don't care about your feelings crowd, realizing that red states are takers. They take money from actually productive states and people, and distribute. Like this is like what actually like they have this like myth that it's all like urban poor people of color who are taking all their money, and it is literally not true. So they are just finding out what happens when
they're like, we need that money. They're like, what do y'all think y'all are kicking into the federal government? What industries are thriving? That's why, when people are like, well, we'll cut off funds to California, they're like, we'll stop sending you money, motherfucker. Then who's gonna pay for Kentucky?
Yeah,
now shut up.
Truly the let's go. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, it's again thank God that they were, gradually defunded all of the education programs in the United States because, no one has any idea how the government works or how anything works. So they're just, again, have like, I said this last week, like what my idea of how electricity worked as a kid was it just came out of my wall. Like, I didn't know there was a whole grid and there was a power plant and resources that were extracted to create that. I just thought, you just plug it in there and then the TV comes on. It doesn't? There's more to it?
And that's how most people think about government spending as well. They kind of see taxes as sort of like working at a restaurant and having to pool your tips. And unless you're fucking your boss, you're not going to get a bigger chunk, right? Like, it's just, and it's like, it kind of is that way. But it's also like a little bit more complicated. And it's like, but wait, how come the dishwasher only got that? Oh, well, I'm a server. Well, is the dishwasher not more important than the server? Like, that's basically how our states treat each other.
Yeah. Tune in next week when they figure out what pasteurization is. I think quite literally. We'll get to that story a little bit later. So again, this mission Musk is on is to, again, cut wasteful, I'm going to use quotes here, cut wasteful spending and help us be more efficient and bring prices down too, because the government will be so good at doing different efficiencies that your eggs will be the price that they were when the segregation was still happening. When Brett Baier asked Trump on Fox directly, he's like, hey, motherfucker, remember how you were like, hey, man, the prices are going to come down. You're going to love it. That's the whole point of all this shit. We're going to make shit affordable. Trump predictably gave a non-answer. So here's his answer to all of the people who voted for him. Hey, when prices come down? Well, get ready for this one.
All goes to plan. When do you think families will be able to feel prices going down? Groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better?
No, I think we're going to become a rich... Look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like $200 billion with Canada. We owe $300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen.
Okay, what? He said, I like how Brett Baier did the thing too with like an elderly family member is like, and I'm gonna give you the answer you can say as part of the question, so you don't have to just straight up say, "But prices is gonna go up." He said, let me just again, we heard it. We're comedians. We like to listen, but I'll just again for the people in the back, listen. Brett Baier really he did a nice lob up to Trump here, but he still fucked it up.
All goes to plan. When do you think families will be able to feel prices going down? Groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on,
are you kind of saying to them, or motherfucker, say this right now. Are you saying to them?
As such.
Until it gets better. No, I think we're going to become a rich. Look, we're not that rich.
No, I think.
No.
No, we're not rich.
We got no money.
We're not rich. We're not rich enough. We don't have enough money. We're not rich enough.
First of all, he doesn't even know what a trade deficit is. You know,
He doesn't. Yeah.
He's like it's like 300 billion. It's like that's because we're importing more things than they are buying. That's what's going on there. It's not because like everything is unfair.
I mean, more than even the first term. Like the best thing I think I find to like confront Trump people with is like, do you think Donald Trump is smarter than you? Mm-hmm. Because they're, they have to like merge the hero worship with the like patent idiocy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is
because I'm pretty sure you seem like a smart person.
Yeah, you
But you're
seem
saying
like
he's
not
smarter
the
than you?
dumbest
Well,
motherfucker that has ever existed.
I
So
mean,
you're not?
To counter that, though, I mean, there's also, around here, there's lots of people that they like him because he's not smarter than them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is, where they're like, this, I can understand what this guy is saying, which is nothing. He's talking around the house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
They're
like that
"Oh,
Michael
guy-"
Scott is the president.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think it's entertaining and hilarious.
Yes.
And that dude's dumb as hell, and I like that. I kind of like that. I feel like that's what we need right now. Someone dumber than me.
Yeah.
Who
We
thinks
get
the
it.
power just comes out of the walls. I mean, again, this would normally be some kind of gotcha moment, but let's remind ourselves that would require Trump to actually give a fuck about anything he says or think that hypocrisy is bad. These people are craven goblin freaks who just want to hoover up all the wealth. Yeah,
You're asking a lot.
well, let's swing the focus to Nashville, actually, where human ass scab Kid Rock recently crashed. This is a long sentence. He crashed John Bon Jovi's keyboard player's birthday party in Nashville at a bar that I think John Bon Jovi himself owns. This dude was absolutely pissed, as they say in the UK, just drunk as shit when he took the stage and was like, let's sing Proud Mary in G. And you're like, oh, fuck, bro. Like, when someone whose musical talent I do not respect is like now saying what key they want to sing, and I'm like, oh, this shit is going to be good, baby. But I think all the beers made his like inner monologue louder, which I assume is just like a constant barrage of shit like, you ain't shit. They all know you have no talent. You're a fake-ass blue-collar LARPer. Your hair looks like cooked angel hair pasta that was left out in the sun and dried out again. Yeah, and he noticed that people just weren't into his terrible karaoke, and you hate to see this, but again, maybe we do love to see it. Let's see Kid Rock in action. Come on, get the audience going. Oh, he's gonna clap. He's gonna clap. Oh, he missed the first clap. Wait. Whoa.
Stop.
Whoa. What happened,
If you
kid?
ain't gonna clap, we gonna sing. That's how it's gonna work.
First of all, the fucking balls on this guy. He can't even clap. Did you see that? Look at that.
He missed.
Watch him miss this one. Whoa. 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 What the? Come on now. Clap with me. Show me how to
And
clap,
he's
please.
Nowhere near the beat.
No.
They have slowed that song, which is already slow, and obviously it ramps up. God bless that singer.
Yeah.
There's no way she could slow it down anymore.
No.
Like there's like
Absolutely
6
not.
counts between every strum of a fucking instrument happening right now. It's like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
I love DJ Screw, so this is perfect for me.
This is a chopped and screw. Big wheel,
Live.
keep on turning. Yeah, if this was in Houston, that might have played a little bit differently. So this is Music City. Some people clapped. Other people were like, why the fuck did he just stop the song? But I just do want to skip ahead because he got maybe about a minute of people kind of clapping before they were like probably talking to each other like, is this motherfucker for real right now? He sounds like shit. And then he had a bit of I guess, a meltdown, hissy, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. He had a bit of a Jeb Bush moment when they did not please clap. But here's that moment where he's like, "No, I'm off this shit." Come on, y'all, clap for him. Clap for him.
You know what? Fuck y'all. You ain't gonna clap? I'm going.
Now, do you think he was actually upset, or maybe he just forgot the next verse? And he was just like,
I
"You
think
know
he was
what?"
probably actually upset.
Right?
I think he also didn't realize he wasn't in his bar.
Right. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he
yeah.
owns a bar in downtown Nashville.
Oh, he does?
And he does.
Okay,
He owns
makes
a
sense.
big bar and a big honky tonk in downtown Nashville.
Oh,
which
yeah,
he
yeah. Okay, I remember that, yeah.
infamously loves to go to after he's been to other places all fucked up, and he loves to show up there and loves to take over the stage and start performing and doing things. So I would bet money that he did not realize he was not in his own bar and was very upset that he was not getting the same response that he normally gets in that state in his bar.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
the JB John Bon Jovi. I can't say John Bon Jovi. Did I say
Yeah.
that right?
John
Why do I
Jovi.
want to put a V in there? I want to say John Bonham. I don't know why.
Well, 'cause
I'm
he is a
conflating my
superior
rock
musician.
stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking
But
of which,
yeah,
there's
I-
apparently a really good Led Zeppelin documentary that's about to come out.
I've
that I'm
actually heard
excited
about that too.
Yeah.
I need to watch that myself.
Speaking of Bonzo.
But, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have been. I've had the pleasure ? Squiggle of sharing space, being in the same place and space as our friend Kid Rock, in various states of fucked upness. Yeah, Bob's a menace. I'll say that. That probably won't win me any favors here in Nashville, but Bob's a little bit of a menace. Not a fan.
Guess what, Lydia? You will not be drunkenly singing "Proud Mary" at John Bon Jovi's bar again. Okay.
I certainly won't.
Banned.
And I usually leave those spaces because your girl doesn't drink anymore. So I'm just like, when I walk in somewhere and that dude's there, I'm like, oh, this is not my party.
Shit.
There's
Yeah.
definitely going to be cocaine
There's not
and a lot more drinking going on here.
Yeah.
And I need to leave.
Not a substance on earth that makes that palatable, I think, in any way. But yeah, it's. I do like the idea that he's so drunk. Maybe he thought he was, because the way he disrespected this dude's birthday too, like he just sounded like, "Hey, what's like stopping the song twice, like hold on, these motherfuckers down clapping," and then being like, "You know what, fuck this." The guy who's like the keyboard player is like, "Bro, this is not even your event. What the fuck is this? Dude?
No one even invited you. You just happened to be here.
He's like, "This is my fucking bar. You guys get out of my fucking honky tonk." They're like, "This is John Bon okay. This isn't your bar, Bob.
No,
Call
you
me
don't-
kid.
you don't- This isn't your place, dude.
Call me
Sorry
Bob
about it.
Rock."
It's not.
Okay.
It's not for you, honey.
Yeah, it's
Poor
not.
Bob.
But you know
know
what?
what I mean?
Despite that, there are rumors of him and Lauren Boebert hooking up after the inauguration.
God, just imagine the breath between those two.
Oh my!
Oh God.
Just
Oh,
Bud
God.
Light, cigarettes, and what?
Cocaine?
Like
Cocaine and Jack
Velveeta?
Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cocaine. Yeah, they got cocaine breath.
Yeah.
A very specific
Very
thing.
specific,
They got cocaine
yes.
beer breath with Velveeta. That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm about to pass out, and I'm so sorry to any listeners that just by us evoking
I
that
I
odor.
feel a little ill. Even
Yeah.
my dogs started barking. They're like, "Bro, that's disgusting."
They're like, "Please, bro, like just put some like chloroform over my
dog.
face.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about this shit."
Get
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to talk about a thing. Again, I wasn't joking that Republicans are probably going to find out about pasteurization right after this. And we're back. So, should RFK Jr., aka Big Daddy Whale Juice, become the Health and Human Services Secretary? There will be untold catastrophe from, again, abandoning scientific principles, just not even principles, abandoning science to appease this fucking weirdo, to put it lightly. So in addition to his vaccine and HIV denialism, RFK Jr. loves to talk about raw milk. Loves some raw milk. Repeatedly talked about how he's, quote, champion. He will be the champion of raw milk if he's confirmed, because I'm sure that's the raw milk lobby, I'd imagine, is so powerful. But again, drinking unpasteurized milk is not some kind of thing where they're like, man, remember the fucking good old days when like the N-word was something you could like write down in civilized culture and not be, ostracized for? Like this is not something like that. This is just, again, back even in the like before pasteurization took root, milk was considered a, quote, perpetual threat to public health. Okay, so when tainted milk, seemingly killed thousands of infants in New York, the New York Times claimed that unpasteurized milk was, quote, becoming intolerable to civilized society. You know what year that quote's from? 1858. Okay? We were doing slave things, okay, during this time, and they were like, slavery, I don't know, the jury's still out on that one. We're making a lot of money off of that one, especially in the banks over here in New York. But this milk? Hold on now. This is a perpetual threat. This is becoming intolerable. It's just so funny to use that quote in the antebellum America.
Yeah. Here, the list of things tolerable to civilized society,
yeah, right.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So again, this isn't just an RFK thing. Because raw milk came back in the early 2000s, thanks to you guessed it, the organic food revolution, and a lot of liberals who were like, yeah, man, we fucking need to go back to simpler, this fucking unpasteurized milk. But again, over the course of the last few decades, raw milk, they switched sides, okay? And, just like Joe Manchin, they basically exacerbated the political divide. So dismissing pasteurization basically fell in line with sort of this overall distrust in the government and how like, what do they know about vaccines and medical guidance? And one raw milk activist said that raw milk was booming simply because, quote, a lot of people don't believe everything the government says anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like, they're saying it's bad? Well, they were wrong about 9/11. So
yeah,
maybe I'll eat
something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk ain't clean.
Exactly.
It's at least slightly closer to, like, they can't make me drink raw milk.
Right.
But yes, they can catch something that is transmissible to me from it. So it's not like perfect. But like, unlike the vaccine stuff, at least it's like a normal human being is not going to be caught in the immediate crossfires of this shit. Like, he can champion
unfortunately,
it all.
it'll most likely be the children of said freaks who they're like, they need this because that's who consumes a ton of milk, or younger kids.
Well, that's my whole point. Like, we shouldn't even be drinking milk. We're the only species that drinks another species' milk. Are you pouring yourself a big-ass glass of milk? Are you like, ooh, let me take fucking 12 ounces of this white liquid to the fucking dome?
Look, I'm not going to lie.
I can't believe it's pasteurized.
When I go to Japan,
I wish it was thicker.
When I go to Japan, I'm drinking milk like a fucking fiend, okay? Because the fat content in whole milk in Japan, it's like drinking half and half. That's my own issue that I have. And I don't need to put myself on blast right now, but best believe I will there's shit out there that's like 4.5%. That shit is thick.
I feel that when I go to the UK, the way that I go crazy at yogurt, I go crazy at yogurt.
I believe yogurt.
I go
yogurt.
crazy on yogurt there. I also do get very into their double cream. To put on a scone, because it's like liquid butter. It's just like soft butter.
Look, I do just kind of wake you up because we do like a little thick dairy.
I'm just saying nobody should be drinking big old glasses of milk, and certainly not raw milk. Like what? Like it's such a wild thing to get behind. I agree. I'm just.
I do want to put a little pushback on the like we're the only species that does this, because I do think if other species could domesticate cows, they would drink milk.
Goats are like, bruh, have you tasted our shit? Nah, bro. Drink the cow shit. That shit is fucking, that is live.
I'm just saying.
We have seen the Instagram videos where, like, a golden retriever nurses a duck, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Or like,
that's right.
Or Rosa Sherm did at the end of Grapes of Wrath, famously. But again, in addition to the anti-science aspects of all of this, raw milk, like, it has an appeal to the right because it, again, evokes this past of like deregulation and supposedly like it helps small businesses who can't afford the same pasteurization equipment as larger companies and ultimately gives you a safer, more stable product. Anyway, so now it's become this like symbol that they're all rallying around. I think mostly because too, a lot of people who they don't trust, like, you know, learned scientists are like, it's not the best idea to be drinking that shit. You know, there's a lot of threat vectors that come along with unpasteurized milk. But they argue that the government shouldn't regulate raw milk. Again, they liken it to like, they don't regulate raw cookie dough or rare steaks. So what's the big problem here? But again, there are many issues with this argument because, again, first of all, not everyone's eating raw cookie dough. There's still a ton of milk being consumed in America, and pasteurization works. So this is a quote from in 1938, milk-borne outbreaks constituted approximately 25% of all disease outbreaks from contaminated food and water. As of 2002, that figure was down to about 1%. So
that seems pretty clear scientifically that let's pass.
I'm kind of in love with just stuff from the antebellum period. You know, that's kind of my thing. So.
When they did stuff right, you know, we were killing Jews, we were, you know, enslaving people. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I agree.
Here's the thing, though. Like, no one, like, we can't do shit about this. Like, this is gonna happen.
No,
100%.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess I'm just still just like, I don't know what, like, do we just like follow like the like EU's like health and human services like advice? Like what, like the functions of government, one of them that's going to fall away is like basic informational shit. So what do we actually do about this? Someone let me know.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know, just look at old manuals from the turn of the century on health that probably are giving us, I don't know, I'm selling snake. I'm going to just start selling snake oil.
I was like, get a farmer's almanac from 1936.
Milks. You don't want to oil a snake.
It's not worth it. What about snake milk? Y'all up for that? Raw snake milk. But I mean, like, because right now you're talking about like there's already outbreaks in dairy cows and things like that with bird flu. Who knows? Again, there are people who work in like dairies too getting sick. There's a lot happening that we're kind of just like watching from over here, being like, I think it might be bad, maybe. But right now, RFK has he's considering hiring a special raw milk advisor. This guy Mark McAfee, who has like a raw milk brand in, you guessed it, California. But his products were recalled for bird flu and salmonella in 2024. Okay, it is now. But again, McAfee claimed, he's like, oh, the bird flu investigation, total political witch hunt. He said the quarantine is the result of, quote, political forces that are on a, quote, war path against raw milk. The salmonella outbreak sickened at least 171 people. Nearly 40% of them were younger than 5 years old.
Oh, it's just babies. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
they
about
were barely here. It's just babies.
Sounds like they're not built for it. And in a way, that's natural selection, baby. That's how I look at it. That's what I told my own baby as they got terribly ill. So
you
again, it's
go
just
back to having multiple babies, so that way when some of them die because of raw milk, it's no thing.
That is actually pretty politically consonant with their worldview, because everyone needs to have like 900 babies.
Yeah.
Just have more babies. That's fine.
They use this backwards motivation. It's like, well, when they inevitably perish due to the lack of regulation that keeps them safe,
can't be done. Yeah,
it must be much easier to grieve if you have 14 more in the queue.
Well, you know now that like women don't have access to like great health care, and you definitely can't get an abortion or any preventative measures, like for sure you're gonna have 19 to 20 babies. So feed some of them raw milk, and that's the workaround to an abortion.
Yes.
You just get some raw milk in the household, and you let them sort it out. Let nature sort it out. You know what I mean?
You know, and also
don't worry about it.
I don't know about you, but I don't know if you know this guy's Louis Pasteur, the guy who came up with pasteurization, French. And you know we don't like that around here. We don't need French milk. That's probably what they're gonna fucking call it soon. We don't need French pasteurized milk. You know what I mean?
I at least on this one, I still am kind of. I know it's the kids, but I'm just like good. Like I'm when I drink milk, I guess I'll have French fucking milk. Like
the French know what's up with dairy. Have you had French butter? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'll do whatever the French tell me when it comes to dairy. Whatever you say,
I
oui,
know,
oui, oui.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go, bro.
Their yogurt?
Who am I to ask?
Their yogurt?
I don't know. They'll like fuck around and find out of this. I'm just like,
No, I mean, that's truly the most we can do. It's like, of all the things that are coming down the pipeline from this fucking regime, it's like there's stuff, it's like, this affects people you know, this affects people you directly, or it's like one of those things like, yeah, bro, let the MAGA fucking people eat fucking old milk, whatever. Do that over there, just away from me. But I think overall, it's just part of this assault on the just the concepts around things like food safety that, that's what make it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where, I don't know, inevitably there's going to be some kind of terrible event, and we'll see what answers they come up with. And we'll see if the supporters also are lockstep in accepting that when it affects them negatively. But I don't know. They have a good case study with COVID, because that really brought people back to sciences. But hey, here we are.
Yeah.
Well,
here we
at
are.
least now we know what to put in those like Republican gift baskets. You know what I mean? You need to give a coworker a gift basket at a holiday time. Get some ivermectin or whatever that force tranquilizer is.
Yeah.
Get that in there. Get you some raw milk. Put that in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bow on top. Give that to a coworker. Hey, I'm looking out for you. Stay healthy. Stay safe.
Like, I wonder if someone, I mean, maybe they would if you're like, he's like, I want you to have some of this raw milk I just procured for you. I would love for you to drink from I don't refrigerate it. It's all good. It came from I think it's hot. A cow. It had one udder though. It had one very rigid udder. As I was trying to milk it, not a lot came out, but I'd like you to enjoy this. It is raw. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us, Lydia. As I make a weird joke from Kingpin. Lydia, thank you so much for joining us. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us,
Lydia. Where do they find you and follow you and embrace your work? And what's a work of media that you're enjoying?
Sure. So here's a few things. You can find me on the internet. LydiaPopovich.com is my website. Hater Tuesday across socials. I deleted Twitter from my phone, so I can't see what you're doing, but certainly my account is still active. But yeah, you can find, or not Twitter, TikTok. Twitter's not on my phone either. I've stopped using Twitter as well, but I'm around. You can find me there.
There you go.
A piece of media that I'm enjoying is a non-traditional piece of media, and it's a piece of media that I'm partly responsible for.
Oh.
So I started a petition on change.org about 3.5 weeks ago to rename the Nashville airport to the Dolly Parton International Airport. And said petition has over 5,000 signatures, which I am very proud of. If you're into Dolly Parton, if you live in the state of Tennessee, I would appreciate more Tennessee signatures on that. So that's another place you can find me in another piece of media. And there's a beautiful picture I took of Dolly Parton on there, so you can enjoy that. And you can find me in real life this weekend in Houston, Texas.
Ooh,
I will be at
DJ
the
Screw.
Punchline in Houston, Texas. I'll be there on Thursday, the 13th, for a Galentine showcase. So if you are a lonely gal or just love your girlfriends more than your man and you want to come, do that. And then myself and Jesus Trejo will be 14th, 15th, 16th. There is 5 shows. Come and see us. We'd love to see you. Jesus is very funny. I am very funny, and me and Jesus would love to have a good time with you guys. So come see us at the Punchline.
Zeit Gang, pull up, because I know you are in H-Town.
Hell yeah.
God, I want to go to Houston. I want to go to Papa
Send me
Dough.
your food recs, too.
Papa
Me
Dough.
and Jesus like to eat. I'm
Papa Dough.
pumped.
Papa Dough.
There's one right by my hotel. I already looked at the map.
Yeah, that pontchartrain sauce. My God.
I'm excited.
I only had Whataburger for the first time like a year and a half ago.
Oh, we have those in Tennessee now.
And
I'm
a lot of people.
I've never.
I liked it.
All the California haters I know who they're like, do you want to talk shit about In-N-Out? I'm like, In-N-Out ain't that great. They're like, this shit kind of like Jack in the Box. That's how someone described
Whataburger to me was like the perfect, like, put it on the passenger seat of your rental car food.
Oh,
I agree with
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I fully
like that.
agree with that. I like how flat and eatable it is. I also found out that there is a Vietnamese buffet.
Oh.
Which somebody
Yes.
sent me a video of.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yes.
Yes, please.
I love Vietnamese food. And there's not a lot of it here in Tennessee. So if you're telling me there's a buffet somewhere where I can just
Oh,
get it and quit
Houston.
it,
Yeah, Houston is going
Let's
to be
get it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I had no
Houston has
clue there was such a
humongous-
Vietnamese community there, so I'm fired up about that.
The Gulf of America. Is
Yeah.
a huge draw because that's Louisiana.
Well, I mean, I'm from
too.
San Jose. We have a lot of Vietnamese people there.
That pho with the Texas beef and the Vietnamese
Oh,
people.
that's what I'm saying.
Gotta be fire.
Yo,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
actually had a smoked brisket pho
Ooh,
That
shut
was
your
oh no, it was I'm sorry, it was a brisket banh mi that you dipped into pho. It was like a French dude. Shit was fucking illegal, bro. It was.
All right, we gotta end this podcast because
Yeah.
I need some alone time with those thoughts. That's
Yeah,
Spicy.
yeah. This
very
was shit
sexy what you
was
just said.
wild. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me, man. Where do people
Yeah.
find you, follow you, and what's a work of media that you've been enjoying?
I don't fucking know. Yo, is
Okay,
racist. We just did a Andrew T on fucking Blue Sky, I guess. I don't know. We did a for the suboptimal our premium channel. We did a watch along of the first Fast and Furious movie. I'll just say a little more brown face than I remembered in my mind's
Oh,
eye.
who?
That
Wait,
was-
who's black? Who's browning up in the first? I haven't seen that shit in a minute.
You know, let's just say Jordana Brewster is awfully tan.
Oh, yes.
She's awfully tan in that, and it's notably less tan in subsequent movies.
Right.
Listen, not her fault. I'm positive it's not her fault.
Yeah. Could you imagine? She's like, no, darker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely some Paul Walker lines. What's that one? Doesn't he call Tyrese Cuh or something? Isn't there a line like that?
Bruh. No, yeah,
Bruh.
yeah. He says probably he must say
Cuz. I think he says cuz or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In a way that's just like, But you know what? That's it's the messiness of having a like central casting level, every race is represented gang. You're gonna you know, shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen.
You break a few omelets.
I don't know if we
when you're
ever
having
talked
sex.
about one of my other Robot Chicken pitches that never, not only didn't make it to air, didn't make it past the pitch stage, was I pitched the Fast and Furious gang go to prison and they all have to join a different gang.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
And
Wow.
they did. No one wanted to touch that, and
Yeah.
that's understandable. I just watched the movie Companion. I thought it was quite good. I really liked it.
They're like, in the writer's room, you're like, you don't know about the tension between norteños and sureños?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
unaware?
I can cut that out. I'll cut that out. What about the? Okay. Never mind. A piece of media I like is from at Yell Yeah Price on Twitter. Quote tweeting like a picture. Someone said, "Awesome T-shirt I found at the flea market today," and it says Kanye attitude with Drake feelings. And at Yell Yeah Price tweeted, "It's so crazy how 5 years ago this just would have been a corny T-shirt that meant big ego with a fragile heart. Now it means you're a Hitler-loving pedophile." So there we are. How things change so quickly. You can find me at Miles of Gray wherever they got the @ symbols. I'm more active on some places than others. You can also find us at Daily Zeitgeist on Instagram. Twitter at The Daily Zeitgeist on Instagram. We got a Facebook fan page. You can also find us on Blue Sky at Daily Zeitgeist. Facebook fan page, website, dailyzeitgeist.com, where we post our episodes and our footnotes.
Footnotes.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Where you can find
I'm
links
here.
to...
I can co-host.
Yeah, no, you're doing it. You're doing it. And you do it well. You can find all the links we talked about, as well as a song we are going to ride out on. What song is that going to be? You know, kind of sort of giving Zeppelin vibes. This is the band called Pond, which is made up of people that play in Tame Impala. So, like, Tame Impala is obviously Kevin Parker's band, but he has other musicians. Like, Kevin Parker can play all those instruments that you hear on the Tame Impala albums. But when he tours, he has all these other musicians play along. Kevin Parker was also a member of Pond. But anyway, this is just one of those bands that has, like, you know, they're all kind of in many bands together. And I love the title. It's Zan Man, like Xanax, Xanman, by Pond. It's got a little hard rock feel to it. It's really nice. And if you like Tame Impala, you're definitely going to like this. So yeah, check that out. Be sure to follow us on YouTube also, where you can listen to this episode. The Daily Zeitgeist is a production of iHeartRadio. So for more podcasts and episodes like this, go to the iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcast. Just subscribe, y'all. Please help us and subscribe. And we will see you later with a episode to tell you what is trending. Okay? Peace out.
Bye-bye.